Hi, today I would like to share with you how I got this Certina dive watch of the 60s and made a full repair until it was in fully working condition. Hope you enjoy the video. I found the watch published over the eBay and I decided I was interested. I had been looking for the watch for a time. I noticed that the hands were not original. The status of the watch was not detailed, but the case seemed to be okay. The bezel was there, and there was also a photo of the inside of a case back which showed a serial number, but in the moment I was not sure what was the model of the watch. The movement was a 919-1, which I then discovered was newer and not original to the DS2. So when the watch arrived, I decided to begin reviewing the status. The first thing that appeared was that the case back could not be screwed down all the way, and this I discovered was due to the spacer ring which holds the movement inside was too thick for the case. So when opening the case and removing the movement, this came apparent because the 919-1 was for a different type of watch. In addition, the dial was glued to the spacer ring, so I was not sure in the first time why was it so, and the hands were stuck in place, and that was the reason why the movement was not running. And then I removed the dial to discover that since the 25-651 movement is different, the dial feet had been filed away in order to make the adaptation. Also, the small tabs which hold the movement have a different position in both movements. So I needed to get a replacement movement, which I did. I found one in pretty good condition. Here I show the picture with the serial corresponding to the date of the watch, which is from the 1969, and everything was working. The calendar, which is not quick set, and also the rubber spacer ring was new. So I mounted the whole thing together, and with some new old stock hands, which I got also over eBay. The hands were of the right diameter. Only the second hand had to be adjusted because it was too long for this watch. So finally the whole thing started working. I was very happy to see that. The special case has also a screw down crown, which is different from an oyster crown because the stem tube is threaded on the inside. The stem tube has two O-rings, one on the top of the inner crown and the other on the inside of the tube. And here you see the Lumi Bright hands glowing in the dark. So the Certina was a very massive watch, dive watch of that time. I discovered that the serial number dates the model this special watch to late 1969. In the time, the watch was waterproof to 1000 meters, which was not normal in the watches of that time. The case had evolved from the original DS concept, double security concept, but they had added a massive crystal, which I have here an example. And in order to mount it, the bezel was made so thick, so collectors have come to call this type of bezels like volcano bezel. It was bidirectional turning, but you used to, it was auto locking, so you had to press downward, as you can see here, and then the bezel would move to either side, because on the time there were not one-way bezels for the diving gear. This is very interesting in order to compare with the same period watch, for example this Apocalypse Now. We can see the massive thickness of the watch. Truly impressive. And I also wanted to compare with a modern Rolex Deepsea Dueler. Obviously, the watch itself is bigger in the case of the Deepsea Dueler, but you can see that the old Certina still is thicker, which is okay. In the case you use it for diving, it would be more or less protruding over the sleeve of the suit, and this is dangerous in the case of a dive watch. But nevertheless, it's a very interesting watch. I have also covered in the prior part of the video the issue with replacing the wrong movement with an original Certina movement. The next step will be to take the watch underwater for the next video.